Bonjour mes rebelles intelligents. Today I'm sharing with you an interview I did quite a few years ago, in 2011 to be exact, with the infamous Pat Flynn of the blog Smart Passive Income. I met Pat Flynn in San Diego. At the time, I was living in California for 3 months, from June 2011 to September 2011, and I did like a grand tour, from LA to San Francisco, to Death Valley, to Las Vegas, then to Palm Springs, then to San Diego. And I knew that Pat was living there. We already exchanged by May because I wrote an article about him on my blog, and it brought him quite a bit of traffic. He noticed that and started to comment on my French blog. So when I was in San Diego, I told him, hey, why not meet and do an interview, for my French channel. So now I read the interview of 2011. At the time, Pat Flynn was making $20,000 a month with his blog, and now he's like more of around $200,000 on his blog. How do I know that? Well, Pat Flynn is like the embodiment of transparency. On his blog, The Smart Passive Income, he shares every month exactly how much money he makes and how much money he spends. So it's very interesting and inspiring for a lot of people to see that and to see how it grows from year to year. Without further ado, here is the interview. Hello, Pat.
Hi.
So you are famous for your blog, The Smart Passive Income, where you share great techniques and strategies about how to earn passive income on the internet. Before we begin this interview, can you tell us what is the monthly traffic of your blog and how much money you make on average per month, so our viewers can have an idea of your success?
Sure. Well, I guess daily average traffic, average about 6,000 unique visitors a day.
Wow, okay.
Average monthly income, I guess, I mean, it varies, and it's been increasing for the last 3 years since I've started doing this. But I would say average now about 25 to 30,000 US dollars a month.
Wow.
So it's good. I'm very happy and lucky to be where I'm at, and I'm always happy to share my story, and so thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you are here. I'm always want to show to French people the success of other bloggers. For the moment, a lot of American bloggers are successful, not a lot of French, but I want that to change that, so people listen carefully to what Pat will say. So, Pat, can you tell us, how did you start on the internet? What is your story?
Sure. I guess I can start after I graduated college. I graduated college with a degree in architecture, and I started working in an architecture firm, and I really loved the job. I was planning to continue to do architecture for the rest of my life. I really loved it. I was very passionate about it. And then in October, actually before October, in 2008 in the US, the economy just was terrible, and it was like worldwide, really. And so a lot of people were getting laid off, losing their jobs, and I was one of those people. And that was a really tough time for me. I lost my job, I was engaged to get married, and I wanted to start this family and support the family, and I didn't know what I was going to do for money. Luckily, when I was still working, I had created this blog about a test or an exam that I was taking. The exam was for the LEED exam, LEED, which stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. I don't expect you to know what that means, but it's basically an exam that people in the architecture industry, construction, and building industry take that deals with sustainable architecture, green buildings, healthy buildings, environmentally friendly buildings. So I passed this test. I created this site basically to help me keep track of my notes because I was traveling a lot. The books for the exam were very large and were hard to travel with, so I put my notes online so I could access them from a laptop or a workstation wherever I was traveling. And also, I let my coworkers who were interested in the exam as well use the site to help them pass the exam. And we all passed, we all did well, and I just let the blog sit there, never did anything with it, never ever thought about making money from it. When I lost my job, though, that's when I discovered this thing called internet marketing. And I had a lot of people who influenced me to give it a shot. I was listening to audio and podcasts of people who were doing successful things online, And before I was just listening to it for fun, but now that I kind of had this need to make money and I had this blog, I said to myself, well, I'll give it a shot. I really have no other choice. And there was really no other choice because people in the architecture industry were not hiring at all. They were still firing. So there was no other, I mean, I could work at McDonald's or try internet marketing. So I gave internet marketing a shot. One of the first things I did was turn the comments on my site and also just check to see kind of the traffic on my site, not expecting anything whatsoever. The next day after I checked that, I learned that thousands of people from around the world were on my site every day, helping them. It's a worldwide exam. I didn't even know it was a worldwide exam. People from around the world, 3, 4, 5,000 unique visitors a day were using my notes to help them pass the exam. And
you didn't know that before.
I didn't know that was happening, and I learned about it, and it scared me at first. I didn't know how. I didn't understand about keyword research or Google and how that worked. But apparently, all of the great information that I put in my notes, Google found it, and then people found it through Google when they were searching for those keywords. So I was getting all this traffic. Then I started to learn as much as I could about internet marketing. The first thing I did was put advertising on the site through Google AdSense. I remember my very first click, I think I earned like 25 cents or something.
Woo-hoo.
And it was a big deal. I mean, that's not very much money now, but to just put...
You see that you could earn money on the internet.
It was amazing. I mean, that's really what changed it for me. And so I explored it more. I optimized where I put the advertisements, what color they were, what size. And then I was making, $20, $30 a month, which, again, it's not very much money, but it was something. And I used that as kind of encouragement to keep learning about this even more and try to make more money. So the next thing I did was I contacted companies related to this test to do private advertising on the site. So I would rent space on the site for $100, $200 a month to have them put an ad on it. And I got a few people to bite on that. So then I was making $300, $400 a month at that point, which was great. It was great money, but still not enough to live off of.
Yeah. So when it was?
This was in summer of 2008.
Okay.
And that's when I joined a mastermind group because I wanted to learn as much as I could. And so I had these experts telling me what I should do, and one of them said, you should write an ebook study guide for your website. You have a ton of traffic. You have, the information is already there. Just put it in an ebook, sell it for 20, 30, 40 bucks, and see how it goes. And at first I said, I don't know, that sounds like a lot of work. I didn't know how to do it. But I finally just kept asking, kept searching for information about how to do it. I did it. In about a month and a half, I completed my ebook, sold it on the website. The very first month, I had earned about $8,000.
Wow.
From that one
8,000.
From that one ebook, a little electronic ebook that was about 50 pages long. And then the next month, I think I had made 10, 12 the next month. And then I went back to my mastermind group and I said, thank you guys so much. You guys did so much for me. What's my next step? I wanted to just take it even further. And then the same guy who recommended doing the ebook, he said, you should do an audio book. Just have someone read your ebook, put it into an MP3 file, and sell that with your ebook. So I did that, and it was, my income doubled. I was earning $18,000, $19,000 a month. In March of 2009, I had just gotten married. I went to Hawaii for half the month. I had earned a record $30,000 that month. Pretty much all passive, which means I can earn that money without having to be present in the transaction. I was in Hawaii half the month and earning $30,000. I was getting paid to go on the honeymoon, basically, and it was just
that's incredible.
I couldn't believe it. It was so incredible, and the way that happens is because of the way the website is set up, which is very based on Tim Ferriss and For Our Workweek and his model, which is creating something that can be automated and taking yourself out of the equation, whether you have to do it with VAs or services or whatever. Create a business, but then take yourself out of it and let it run on its own. And that's what I did. So I have these services where people can go to the website, they could buy the ebook. Once they make the purchase, it gets delivered to them via email, and then money goes into my account. I don't have to be there in order for anything to happen. I wake up in the morning, there's more money in my account. I mean,
you make money by sleeping.
I make money by
incredible.
sleeping, and
Yeah.
it sounds really weird, and I never would have thought this was possible, but it's happening. And so at that point, I was doing so well. I was so grateful for everything that had happened. My entire life changed because of internet marketing and this blog I had. So I started the website, which you mentioned earlier, which is where most people know me from, Smart Passive Income blog. And this was my blog where I talked about what happened to me, my other business, and why that business became so successful, and trying to help other people to find things that they're good at and share it with the world and make money doing whatever they want, with their passion, with an emphasis on trying to automate the process and take yourself out of it. And it was a really slow ride. I wanted to give up on the blog several times.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I almost terminated it 3-4 times just because I wasn't getting any traffic. The people commenting were the exact same people. I wasn't reaching any new audiences, but I kept going with it.
When did you create it?
I created it in October of 2008.
Okay.
It was about a year of very little traffic.
Wow.
Very little interaction, and it was only after some time. I mean, it just happened. I didn't really do anything, but certain people found me and shared my story, and it just kind of exploded from there. I know I was featured on Entrepreneur's Journey with Yarrow.
Yeah.
I was featured on ProBlogger.net with Darren Rose, one of the biggest blogs in the world, and people learned about me, and things took off from there. And then I have a very successful YouTube channel now. I have videos, about 700,000 views on those videos now. I have a very successful podcast where I have a podcast on iTunes, and iTunes is doing a really good job of helping me find new audiences, new people to learn about me, my story, my brand. And now this blog, the Smart Passive Income blog, is making over $20,000 a month by itself.
But at the beginning, you didn't think of it as a way of making money, right?
Originally, I didn't even create it to make money.
Yeah, it was just to share your...
Just to share, just kind of like what happened with the first site.
Yeah.
And, people appreciate it when you share as much information as possible, just like you're doing with your audience.
Yeah.
And a lot of, not everyone, but a lot of those people will try and, repay you somehow, whether it's buying your own product or going through an affiliate link or just sharing you with someone else who might buy your product or purchase through an affiliate link. I mean,
that's true. When you create a lot of good content, people want to pay you in this way or another.
It's crazy.
With my first product, Agir et Réussir, there was some customers that bought it only to thank me. They sent an email, Oliver, I don't really need your product, but...
That's what's happening to me too.
Yeah, you too. So, it's really important to put great content on your blog, to share it with passion. There are a lot of interesting things that you share with us. I think the first thing is that you didn't work much to put your notes on the web. You could have taken your note on your computer and didn't publish it on internet. You just choose to publish it on internet. I think a lot of people can do that actually. It's a way to start. A lot of people have really good content on their computer just for themselves, and they don't think about publishing it on the blog.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, you can do that. Perhaps on your computer right now, you have good things that you wrote for you, and you can just publish them. It will take you like 5 minutes to do that, and Google will begin to send you traffic, and perhaps you will have a good surprise like that.
Yeah, it was a very nice surprise. I mean, it takes time. I mean, I tell this story to people, and they're like, wow, well, one day you write an ebook, and then all of a sudden you have all this money now. But the reality was I had this blog about the exam for a year, sharing my notes, and all this stuff was happening underneath my nose without me knowing it. And it was after I built that trust and authority as the expert. Nobody else was writing this information. I was the only one publishing it online, so people saw me as the expert. So when I came out with my book, it was really quick to sell because, first of all, the free content was great. So people probably thought to themselves, wow, well, if the free content is good, just imagine what the paid content is like. And secondly, like you said, they just want to thank me for helping them pass the exams. Some of them already passed the exam and said, well, I'm just going to buy your book anyways because you helped me so much. It's just amazing. So yeah, just doing something, getting it online for people and for Google to see, executing.
Taking action.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you advocate not only to make money on the internet, but make it passively, or the more passively possible. So can you tell us how many hours do you work per week now?
That's a funny question because I work pretty hard, but all the work I do now is for new projects, for things that I'm creating to be automated in the future. So, I mean, I could literally stop everything I'm doing, not work, maybe work 1 or 2 hours a week, and still make $20,000, $30,000 a month. I try to work only 4 hours a day because I have a family and I want to spend most of my time with my son and my wife. So 4 hours a day is pretty average. If I have something I'm working on that needs to come out, I'll work 8-9 hours. Then the next day I'll just take it all off. I mean it's not 100% hands off. You know, for the exam book, for example, it wasn't 100% passive because some people had questions and I had to answer emails. But that month of March when I was in Hawaii, I literally spent 2 hours working that entire month just answering emails.
Wow.
And that was a record month for me. So yeah, just it's, you know, I'm working hard now on new projects, and also the blog itself. Writing on a blog is not passive at all. I mean, you have to constantly produce content and stuff, but you can use it as a platform to launch products that become passive, or to launch courses, or put affiliate links, or whatever. That stuff, once you publish it, it's published for good. And it's always up there for people, whether they find you through Google, whether they find you through a reference from another website or a friend or a recommendation. It's always an opportunity for you to make money. So again, going back to just putting stuff out there, publishing it. Yeah. And I like to think of it as planting seeds. You know, you plant a seed and you're not going to get a plant the next day. But, you know, if you just keep planting seeds, you're going to have a whole, you know, forest eventually if you just keep...
I like this picture.
Yeah. Or maybe a cornfield, since you can eat corn. And I like corns.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like Tim Ferriss' advocate in his book. People don't realize that when you have a muse that is working, you don't have to go to the beach each day. If you want, you can work actually just because you like it. You have the freedom to choose what you want to do, and if you want to choose to work, you can do that.
Yeah, because I'm choosing to work.
Yeah, because you like it. You love it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it doesn't even feel like work because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, so it's my next question actually. So I ask that to every entrepreneur I meet because I think it's really interesting question. What is your definition of work? And for example, do you think that this interview is work?
That's
yeah, I know.
See, I could take a scientific approach to it and say, well, if it takes energy, then it takes work. Okay. But I think in terms of work, in the traditional sense, you know, like a 9-to-5 type of thing. Work is getting money as a direct result of the time you spend into it. So a 1-to-1 proportion. I work 5 hours, I get paid 5 hours. I work 10 hours, you get paid 10 hours. So instead of saying work for this type of passive income we're talking about, we might want to talk about it as investment. You're investing 5 hours for a lifetime of continued income. You know, once you finish that product, the work is done, you know?
Yeah, and it's work for you. What you have done work for you for the future. It's different.
You're investing your time now.
It's an incredible difference, yeah. So, okay, for you work is exchanging your time for money. Only it is... Yeah, okay, so this interview is not work at all.
No.
It's for fun.
Because, I mean, yeah, I would say so. Okay. But, you know, as a result of this, you know, other people out there are getting something from it too. So it doesn't require work to make a difference. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
And actually, we enjoy to do this interview. It's fun. a lot of sun. Before we had a good lunch together, and I think we are creating value. You can judge that. If you are looking right now at the video after a few minutes, I think it provides good value to you, and you can see that it's not a hard work. We are not like, oh my god, when it will be finished. And you can do the same thing. You can just live your passion, and you will not feel that it's work at all. And yeah, the way of seeing it, the way as Pat see it, you build each day something that will be here the next day, and that will work for you. And after that, you will have a huge company that work for you and will give you a lot of money and freedom to do what you want.
Yeah, I call it a portfolio, a passive income portfolio.
Oh.
If you go to my blog, I every month I write an income report where I share exactly where my income is coming from.
Yeah.
Every single product that earns me affiliate income and all the products that I have and advertisement money, everything. I have about 40 to 50 different avenues of income coming back to me.
Avenues.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the good thing about that is that it's diverse. So if one of them, for example, shuts down, I still have all the other ones to pick up the slack.
So you are not dependent of one source of income.
Exactly.
It's really important. Yeah, we have sad story of people that made a lot of money with Google AdSense, and all of students nothing because Google shut down their account or something else. Yeah, so you share on your blog each month all your income with. It's really precise.
Yeah, it's down to the penny.
Yeah, I urge you, if you don't know the Smart Passive Income blog, to go to the past blog and see the monthly income report. It's really instructive. And so now your blog is making about $20,000 a month. It's mainly affiliate income, right?
Yeah, it's mostly affiliate income. And the crazy thing about it is I'm not forcing anyone to buy anything. It's just purely recommendations based on what I'm doing. So I show people how I do something, and I share, okay, these are the products or services that I am using to go along with it. Maybe it's using Elance to hire a virtual assistant, for example. I say, oh, well, I use Elance to hire a virtual assistant. And then I put an affiliate link in there, and every time someone goes through my link to hire a virtual assistant or do whatever it is that they want to do, I get a commission from it. And so I'm not a car salesman. I'm not pushy or aggressive. And I think in this day and age, you have to be. That's the way you have to approach it, because people online now are very, very protective and very judgmental about how they're presenting things. If someone tries to sell them something, immediately there's that defense. Like no, this is a scam or something's wrong.
Yeah.
So the best thing you could do is not even sell anything, but share how the thing that you're selling is going to help them, or how it's helped you, so it can help them too.
That's great advice. Yeah, thanks. So what, in your opinion, are the best strategy you use to have success with your blog?
Honestly, give away as much free information as possible. And it kind of ties into everything we just talked about. But I find that the more I give away for free, and hold nothing back, the more I get back in return. It's a really weird thing, but I don't know if it's because of karma or just because somebody up there is very happy, but it's with my lead exam site, with the Smart Passive Income blog, and all the other things that I've created. The more information I give away for free, the more I get back in return. It's really weird how that happens.
How do you answer this common question that how do you sell products if you give all this information freely?
That's a good question. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something that I was worried about with my lead exam website, because I had already posted everything. Yeah. People could just go on the website and pass the exam without paying for my product. But people will pay for something that is packaged, that looks nice, that will hold their hands. People want, and also psychologically, people like to buy things, and they feel that as a result of buying something, something's gonna happen. So even though the information was exactly the same, about 95% of what was in my ebook was already on my website, almost word for word. I had sold over 12,000 copies not one person complained about it being the same, because I made sure that the product that they bought was very high quality, was it was packaged very nicely, and it really explained everything thoroughly and looked very professional, so that it was worth their $30-$40 that they paid.
Wow, okay. So there are two good points. If you're a blogger right now, first you can just use your content, the content that you already created to make a product, and second, you already have all the skills you need to create a product, because if you can write an article, you can write an ebook. It's just a longer article,
yeah, exactly.
or a collection of articles. So a lot of bloggers are afraid of creating their first product, but they don't realize that they can do that pretty easily. They just have to do it.
Yeah.
To make the first step, I think you were afraid to create your first product, right?
Oh yeah, I was scared.
But now it's easy for you to create an ebook. If you want to create an ebook, you can do that.
Yeah, and if you want to do a course, for example, on my website, I taught people how to create a niche site, step by step, detailed, exactly how to do it for free in about 10 to 15 different blog posts.
Yeah, I follow that.
Every step is there. But I still launched a coaching course, with webinars and weekly meetings and stuff for $799, open to only 30 spots, because it's more one-on-one, so I didn't want to take on too many people, because there's some time involved. We had like over 120 people sign up or apply for a $799 product, which had the exact same material as what you could find for free on the blog. And again, people just they don't want to just buy something. They want to buy something knowing that there's going to be someone there to help them too. That's the nice thing about going the course route, is that they will have someone there to guide them. So if you don't think an ebook is right for you, a course may be the right way to go, and you can charge more because your time is worth something. It should be. And people surprisingly are willing to pay for that, even though the information is the same. They want more interaction than just content on the blog.
Absolutely. So I think we had a good view of what you did, what you are doing. What are your plans for the future?
Let's see. Well, I'm actually working on my own product right now. I don't have any products for sale of my own on the Smart Passive Income blog yet.
Seems like the logical next step.
Seems like the logical next step. A lot of people have been asking me, and it's funny because, like I said, you can give away a ton of content. People will just want to repay you. I've had people email me saying, "You need to come out with a product. I don't care what it is. I will just pay you for it." And it's really weird to hear people say that, but it's really good motivating factor to do that. The thing is, I don't want to just throw out a random product. I want it to be good. So I'm really working hard right now to create a product. I'm not going to tell, I haven't announced exactly what it is yet, but it's going to be an online membership that walks you through how to do certain things. And it's going to be, I'm focusing really a long time on the user interface. So the design, the experience that people will have going through this particular course, that's very important to me. And I think it'll be, the way I'm doing it is going to help stand out, because there are other courses like it, but I know I have a good following and a good brand that people are interested in. And then, just keep doing what I'm doing, keep trying to reach new audiences, experiment with new passive income opportunities, and share those things and report how they're doing, so that anyone out there can, if I do something right, can follow the same way, or if I do something wrong, can just avoid doing that. So
yeah, that can be useful too.
Yeah.
Okay, great. To finish this interview, can you give a few advice for the beginners that want to have success with their blogs?
Sure. The first thing I want to mention is to just don't be afraid of failing. That was a big thing for me, especially with the ebook that I just sold. I was afraid that if I sold it, it wasn't going to sell at all. I was really afraid of that. You have to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen? With any decision or anything you want to do, what is the worst that can happen? And usually, when you really think about it, it's not that bad. If the worst thing that could happen if I sold my ebook is nobody buys it. And it's a learning experience. You know, I learned not to do that. But obviously I'm glad that I took the plunge. It's kind of a leap of faith sometimes. And obviously things went really well. So just to not be afraid of failing and know that every time you fail, you are one step closer to reaching your goal, as long as you learn from your mistakes. So apply what you learn, expect to fail. I mean, I've failed hundreds of times, you know, but the more you fail, you know, the closer you're going to get to wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing, before this train comes, is take bold actions. You know, we talk about taking actions and getting something out there, but what really will take your business, your blog, or your idea to the next level is taking bold actions, doing something that's probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to a little bit of not being afraid to fail, stepping out of your comfort zone, taking bold actions, doing something drastic to help you in your business, something that, you know, isn't normal. Because
something that isn't normal.
Something that isn't normal. You know, people get used to things that are normal, and we only talk about the things that are abnormal. So why don't you do something abnormal and get people to talk about you that way?
So that's a great advice. A lot of people just watch videos and read articles and say, wow, that's great, and they do nothing. Don't be one of them. Just take action. And bold actions that are not normal. I love that.
Thank you. I mean, I can't take credit for that either. That's something I learned that I'm always happy to pass, because that made a big effect on me. That was from my mastermind group. You know, write an ebook, bold action.
Yeah, and when you combine bold action with not the fear of failing, you can't be wrong. I mean, you will just progress. Okay, you will fail sometimes, but one day or another you will reach your goal. With more chance that if you just be on your house watching TV.
Yeah, if you don't take action, there's really no chance at all. I mean, there isn't.
Yeah.
The money, you're not just going to have money in your mailbox the next day. It's just...
It will not rain. Oh, money. No, it will not happen. Okay, so thanks a lot, Pat, for your story, your insight, your strategies that you share with us. I think, I hope that you learn a lot of things. So now you know, after this video, just take action. So thanks, Pat.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching Mes Rebelles Intelligents. I hope you were inspired by Pat Flynn, and also you can now see how he grew since this interview. In complement to this video, feel free to receive an extract of my upcoming book in English, which is already a bestseller in French, The 3 Principles to Win in Every Field of Your Life, backed by science. If it sounds too good to be true, well, be a good skeptic and see by yourself. So to see it, just click on the thumbnail which appears here. Also, feel free to watch this complimentary video. Click on the button to subscribe to the channel. See you next time, and in the meantime, don't forget, be intelligent, be rebel, and be part of the people who start an online presence and grow like crazy. Ciao!